Got to go back to Matthew, right at the very beginning, and I want to finish with this thought. Come unto me, all you that are laboring and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and I will give you rest for your soul. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. We need to understand how this works. Let me show you how it works. A wise master who has a farm has a young oxen. And he wants this young oxen to grow up and to become a good, big, strong oxen. So what does he do? He brings a good, old, big, strong oxen in front of it, puts the yoke on it. The little oxen is watching the whole thing. It gets the yoke on the big one, and then he coaxes the little one over, standing next to the big one, and you've got this little oxen. He puts the yoke on him. The thing hardly fits around his neck. It's so huge. The little oxen is small. His feet just about barely touch the ground because the big oxen is up higher and the yoke is here and it's all crooked like this. And then he says, all right, let's go. And he begins to bring the big oxen through its paces. He begins to take it through the field. He begins to take it to the grain. He begins to take it to the plow. He takes it all the different places he has to bring it. He has the big oxen. Guess what the little oxen is doing? Just keeping up. Doesn't feel the weight. That yoke is easy. That burden is light. The big oxen, he's got the heavy burden. He's got the yoke that's on his shoulders. He's the one pushing. He's the one putting all his strength into it. The little one is along for the ride. But then a month later, the little one got a little bigger. And now when the big one starts to push and pull, the little one says, I could do that too. Starts to push and pull next to him. And it's almost like the big one could say, that's it, kid. Just keep learning from me. Just learn of me. And the master will treat you so well. You'll get the best straw. You'll have the best place in the barn. You get the best cows. That little one begins to grow. He learns. How does he learn? The master doesn't say, when I start doing this, the formula is you will take 3 steps forward and then 2 steps to the right. He doesn't do that. He doesn't explain the facts of when the plow gets into the clods of dirt, it turns them over and does this and that. The cow's not even, the bull's not even, the oxen's not even watching that. That thing is behind him. He's just going forward. He's just learning how to walk and how to do the things that the big oxen is showing him how to do. And as he goes along with him, he's learning of the big guy. Now, guess who the big oxen is in our lives? It's Jesus. Who's the wise master? It's the Holy Spirit. The Father. And we're yoked to Jesus, and his burden is easy. His yoke is light. Because he's pulling the weight. He's carrying the load. We're just along for the ride. We're just going to learn his ways. Now, what happens if we don't pay attention? After a while, what are we having for dinner tonight, boss? We're having oxen chops. Fresh, tender oxen chops. You mean that one that you've been trying to teach and train? Yeah, I've been trying to train it. It ain't paying attention. It's not learning. What's it good for? It sure is good for the fire. That's mighty good eating. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, it was on the farm. Yes, it was a member of the whole clan. Yes, it was a 30-folder. Never made it to 60-fold. Dinner time came first. You see what I'm saying? I hope I'm not being too crude for you. I hope I'm not. This is reality we're talking about. Reality. You see, you learn of me. Jesus said, learn of me. Take my yoke. I'm the big ox. You're the little one. Learn of me. Just stay with me. Stick with me. I'm going to bring you through some tough situations. We're going to go up some hills and down some valleys. We're going to plow some stuff. You're not going to have to do much of the work. You just got to stick with me. You got to learn how I do it. You got to learn when I put my shoulder into it. You got to learn when I put my back feet into it and I push more. You got to learn when I slow down. You got to learn my ways. As you learn my ways, you will become successful. You will begin to become the favorite. You'll get to take my place one day. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. And as the oxen, he's saying to the young oxen, I'm preparing you to take my place one day. You'll be the boss. Spiritual truth does not come by learning facts and figures and formulas. Spiritual truth comes from understanding that as the Holy Spirit lives inside of us, he infuses us with what he knows of who he is. And through circumstances, trials, tribulations, situations, tough times, all those things begin to percolate inside of us. They go up into our understanding. We begin to receive wisdom and understanding. And then we begin to know his ways. And then we begin to have favor with God and with man.